Welcome to the deep dive. We're here taking source material, sometimes basic, sometimes complex, and really pulling apart the mechanics to see what makes it tick. I
Yeah.
want to give you that shortcut to getting it.
Exactly. And today is fascinating. We're diving into the structure of uh, learning itself, how efficiency works. Our source is pretty simple on the surface. It's an excerpt from an English lesson video.
Yeah, specifically one called English Lesson, Describing Your Family.
Right. Aimed at teaching really basic stuff, words like father, mother, and how to string together simple sentences.
Now, that might sound, well, elementary, but we're not here today to learn family words ourselves. Our goal, our mission, is bigger.
Much bigger. We're essentially reverse engineering this lesson. We want to figure out the blueprint they're using to build those foundational language skills so quickly.
How do they get learners to conversational fluency, or at least the start of it, so fast?
Mhm.
And can we take that framework, that how-to, and maybe apply it elsewhere? Like, I don't know, learning code or understanding finance concepts.
Precisely. It's about the pedagogy, the teaching method. And what's really striking right off the bat is how they start. They begin with immediate function, not just abstract words.
Okay, explain that. What do you mean by function?
Well, they don't just hand you, say, a list of family words. They throw the learner straight into a situation, a little dialogue.
Right, let's unpack that. The lesson kicks off with this short conversation, scene one, between Arav and Mina. This is the first thing the learner sees.
And it's the anchor for everything that follows. Mina says something like, there are 4 people in my family. Okay, basic structure.
Simple enough.
But then, bam, the lesson immediately connects those family members, these abstract nouns, to specific roles or actions.
Ah, so they give the words a job right away. It's not just father, it's...
It's my father is a teacher, my mother is a doctor, and the brother isn't just brother. He's a student who, and this adds flavor, loves cricket.
Wow, okay, so that's actually quite a lot of information packed into just a few lines, isn't it?
It is. And technically, this changes how you even acquire the vocabulary. Mother isn't just a word, it's linked instantly to doctor. There's utility, there's relevance, there's even a visual.
It makes the words stickier, as they say. They're not just floating concepts, they're people doing things.
Exactly. They become specific individuals with functions.
I get the power of context, definitely. But isn't there a risk? Starting with a full dialogue, even a short one, could that overwhelm a complete beginner? Shouldn't they maybe get the words first, like flashcards, then the dialogue?
That's a really common question and a valid one. But this source highlights the difference between, let's say, receptive learning and productive learning.
Okay.
By starting with a dialogue, the learner is mostly just absorbing. It's receptive. They're hearing the language in action, picking up the pattern, the context. The immediate goal isn't making them speak it. It's making them understand the shape of it.
I see. So hear the pattern, then get the tools. So once Arav and Mina have set that functional stage, then the lesson shifts gears.
Precisely. After that little immersion, it pivots to the more formal vocabulary toolkit. Now it introduces the building blocks explicitly.
And that's where the list comes in, the 6 core words.
Yes, father, mother, brother, sister, grandmother, and grandfather. But see the sequence? Context first, then the formal list.
Right. It feels like it would work better that way.
It's highly effective because the learner kind of already has these mental slots waiting thanks to the dialogue. So the list becomes validation, solidification, not just a dry introduction.
That makes total sense. You recognize the words because you just heard them being used. Okay, so that foundation is laid. Now we get to the next critical bit, the part that actually lets the learner describe things themselves.
This is where the efficiency really comes through, the essential grammar toolkit. It's the engine for description.
The mechanism, yeah.
And notice how simple they keep it. They don't immediately overwhelm you with, all the verb conjugations or different tenses. They give you one core, super useful grammar tip.
Which is?
Just use he is or she is to describe people. That's it.
Just the third person singular. He is, she is. Why do you think they focus so tightly on that, excluding I am or you are at this stage?
Oh, it's classic scaffolding. It's all about minimizing the cognitive load, the mental effort.
Right.
Think about it. Verb conjugation is often a huge hurdle in language learning. By sticking only to he is, she is, the structure stays incredibly simple and repetitive. The learner doesn't need to juggle different forms yet.
Keeps the path clear for immediate success, basically.
Exactly. Memorize this one pattern, link it to description, and they show you how immediately.
Using the jobs from the dialogue, he is a doctor, she is a teacher.
And they even slip in a simple adjective example. They are kind. Showing the rule works for characteristics too, not just professions. Instant demonstration of flexibility.
So they show the tool, show it working.
And then they drill it. Pure, simple repetition for practice. He is my father. She is my mother. They are my parents.
Just locking in that basic sentence structure, making it automatic.
Absolutely. You need that core syntax down pat before you ask the learner to start creating their own sentences.
Which naturally leads us straight into the practice time section.
Yeah.
They don't just leave it at repetition, they push for immediate application.
And this is where that scaffolding concept becomes really visible. They provide a very structured template, almost like fill in the blanks.
What's the exact pattern?
It's, there are people in my family. My father is home, my mother is home, my brother, sister is home. Super clear, super fixed.
Okay, I see the structure, but let me push back slightly again. If it's that constrained, just filling in blanks, aren't they kind of sacrificing spontaneity? Is there a risk you create learners who can only use the template and can't speak freely?
That's a great point, it really is. It touches on that core tension in structured learning, doesn't it? But think about the goal at this specific stage. It's not about generating totally free-form, nuanced conversation yet.
It's about building confidence.
It's exactly. Yeah. Confidence through successful production. By making the structure super easy, the template removes the anxiety of sentence building, the cognitive load is really low. They let the learner focus entirely on plugging in the right words.
The vocabulary.
Right. It's a safe space, low stakes, but the return in terms of feeling like I can actually say something is huge.
The template as training wheels. Got it. And what I found really clever was how they immediately tested that template using a different example than the Araf and Mina one.
Yes. That's the crucial step from just copying to actually understanding the pattern underneath. They give a completely different scenario.
Different family size, different jobs, different activities.
Totally different inputs. They switch from the sort of urban teacher-doctor cricket scenario to, what was it?
It was. There are 5 people in my family. My father is a farmer. My mother is a homemaker. My brother is in school. My sister loves drawing.
Perfect. So farmer, homemaker, drawing completely different vocabulary. But what does this show the learner?
That the underlying structure still works perfectly.
Precisely. It demonstrates the principle of, let's call it, interchangeability of input. The core pattern, my family member is a job role activity, or my family member loves activity, stays stable. It proves the simple he is, she is rule can handle these new words too.
It takes them from repeating the first example to genuinely applying the rule in a new context.
And that's the mental leap, isn't it? The learner realizes, okay, I'm not just memorizing fixed sentences, I'm mastering a descriptive machine I can use with any words.
Your feeling of competence must just shoot up at that point.
Absolutely. Yeah. Successfully filling in those blanks, especially with new vocabulary, sends a strong signal to your brain. I get this. I can actually use this pattern.
Okay, so they've built the foundation, provided the tool, practiced it with scaffolding, and tested its flexibility. How does the lesson wrap this effective loop up? There's a review section, right?
Yes, and closure is so important in good teaching, often overlooked. They don't just trail off. They explicitly confirm what the learner has achieved.
They list the objectives.
3 specific things. 1, you know the family words. 2, you can make he is, she is sentences. And 3, you now know how to describe your family in basic English.
That explicit check-in must be a real confidence booster, especially maybe for adult learners who like to see proof that their time was well spent. It ties a neat bow on it.
For sure. And that positive reinforcement leads right into the final, maybe most crucial step, the homework.
The call to action.
Which is?
Write about your family in 4 to 5 lines in the comments section.
Okay, so moving from structured practice to slightly freer production.
Exactly. It shifts the practice from the sort of protected template environment to a more public, slightly more demanding space. It forces recall, pulling the grammar and vocabulary from memory without the template right there.
Turning passive knowledge into an active, productive skill, in this case, writing.
And if you can do that, produce those lines successfully, then the skill is really starting to solidify. It's yours.
And one last thing they do, they mention the next lesson. Right, they set the hook for the future. Lesson 4 is about talking about your hometown.
Which feels like a very logical next step.
It shows a clear progression. You start with the most immediate thing, yourself, your family. Then you naturally move outwards to your environment, your hometown. It suggests a well-thought-out curriculum, building complexity step by step.
So, stepping back, if we distill this whole process, the efficiency seems to come from the sequence. Start with a real functional example. Then introduce a minimal targeted tool like that simple grammar rule. And finally, use structured template-based practice that deliberately tests swapping out the inputs.
It's a very tight, efficient loop. It guides the learner smoothly from just listening and understanding to actively, confidently producing language.
It really is an effective structure.
And it makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It raises this broader question based on what we've just unpacked.
Hmm.
We saw how linking nouns like father directly to their function teacher sped up vocabulary learning in language. So how much faster could we learn in any field? Think about, say, market analysis concepts or cloud computing terms. What if the first time you encountered new specialized jargon, it was always immediately linked to its active function, its role in a process, its real-world application, instead of just getting a dry definition first?
Skip the definition, go straight to the what does it do statement.
Exactly. Could that function-first approach be a universal accelerator for learning complex things? Something for you to think about next time you're tackling something new.